interference in here.
Honorable member, you are not allowed.
Do you want to debate or you want me to debate?
Listen, may you take your seat. Take your seat. The rules don't even allow to debate ourselves. You should make yourself familiar with the standing orders.
What's up? My name is Ken Dumbo, the MC with the sauce. Don't forget to subscribe to JQ.
Mr. Speaker, the President came to address this Parliament on the progress that government has made in the application of values and principles. I would like to be as simple as I can be. Let me start with perhaps defining these two terminologies. Values, Mr. Speaker, refers to beliefs that motivate the way people behave. Principles, on the other hand, Mr. Speaker, is a set of rules that governs our behavior. Some time back, in memory, Mr. Speaker, we agreed as a people that we shall be governed by a particular set of principles and values. And these do not exist in abstract. They are coined down in the Constitution in Article 8. The coming to this August House, Mr. Speaker, by the President to address us was not a mere coincidence. It is dictated by the Constitution in Article 9(2). There are a number of values and principles as enshrined in Article 8. I will restrict myself, Mr. Speaker, on account of time, to two principles: democracy and constitutionalism. Mr. Speaker, democracy is derived from a Greek word, demos, which means people, kratos, which means power or rule. Or simply put, Mr. Speaker, democracy refers to a system that believes in the freedoms and equality of people. In short, this is a system that recognizes that power lies with the people, not in an individual. Constitutionalism, Mr. Speaker, refers to the adherence to the constitutional system of governance. What this Parliament was expecting, Mr. Speaker, on page 9, as the President addressed us, was to speak to the strides that government has made, particularly in the promotion and defending of the rights and freedoms of people. Mr. Speaker, when we speak to the freedoms, freedom to associate, freedom to assemble, these are fundamental freedoms that the President should have spoken to as what government has done in the promotion of those very important freedoms. The UPND government, Mr. Speaker, goes down in history to have done the opposite in regards to the promotion of these freedoms. To over 2.5 years, Mr. Speaker, the freedom of people to assemble has been stepped on. No political grouping has been able to assemble in over 2 years, Mr. Speaker. This is contrary to what the UPND used to lament about when they were in the opposition. This country would have expected that the UPND would have done something different. The freedom to associate, Mr. Speaker, vests in the Registrar of Society, because when people decide to assemble, they will go and register an entity, be it a political party, an association, or otherwise. Today, Mr. Speaker, for the very first time in the history of this country, the office of the Registrar has been reduced to a circus.
Honorable member, honorable member. Honorable member for which constituency? You know, we all know the rules of the House. You don't have the right to bring the office of the Registrar to disrepute without evidence whatsoever. Whatever allegations that you are alleging, you should be able to substantiate. You can't say the office of Registrar has been brought to disrepute without any evidence, just assertions. You don't do that. And it's disappointing that some of you that are busy heckling around are people that have been here much longer. It's disappointing. You know that in this house, we talk with verified facts. You can't just wake up and say the office has been reduced. Against what? What evidence do you have? So let's avoid making such kind of debate. Let's talk from a verified point of view. You can proceed, Honorable Member.
Mr. Speaker, not long ago, this country was entertained to the happening in the Registrar of Society regarding the happening in the Patriotic Front, where the Registrar of Society had to be removed from office over the happenings in regards to the PF. Today, Mr. Speaker, reports are that our friends who are sitting...
Honorable Member, I've guided you. I've guided you that when talking, you should have facts. You don't have facts whatsoever why whoever was removed from the office and on what grounds. You're not appointing authority, neither are you, the registrar was reporting to you. Let's talk from an informed point of view. Let's avoid making assertions that you can't substantiate. I've guided you. You don't have the mandate whatsoever to know who transfers who to what. So don't talk about things that you can't, you don't have, you've got very little information about them. You may continue with your debate.
Mr. Speaker, the President should have come to address this Parliament on the progress that has been made in regards to the protection and promotions of the rights and freedoms of people. Mr. Speaker, the freedom to express ourselves is enshrined in our Constitution. Today, it is on record. A lot of Zambians have been treated like second-class citizens for merely expressing divergent views. It is on record, Mr. Speaker, to an extent where, Mr. Speaker, as we speak today, the government through the Ministry of Information is amending the law, the IBA Act, to gag people from even speaking, communicating through social platforms. It's fact. Constitutionalism, Mr. Speaker. Two principles of constitutionalism. Number one, separation of power. Separation of power refers to the independence and autonomy of the three arms of government as well as governance institutions. There are critical governance institutions like the Electoral Commission of Zambia. Every citizen has a right to be appointed, but citizens that are politically connected cannot be and should never be appointed to institutions like the Electoral Commission of Zambia, because it compromises the integrity of the elections in that institution. It is on record, Mr. Speaker, and an outcry recorded that individuals that are politically connected were appointed to lead the Electoral Commission of Zambia. The results have been very glaring bad. To an extent, Mr. Speaker, that the Constitutional Court, in one instance, rules saying this person and that person is eligible to contest in an election. The case of Honorable Joe Malangi and Bowman, the Electoral Commission of Zambia, because of being aided by cadres, goes and overrules the Constitutional Court.
Honorable Member, I've guided you. I've guided you. I've guided you. You know, what you are supposed to concentrate on is the presidential speech. Then making these assertions that you are trying to do to gain political mileage, which is not necessary. It's not necessary to do that. You are alleging that relatives have been appointed, all that. It's not necessary. Are you able to substantiate that they are relatives? So concentrate on presidential speech. If you continue, I'll curtail you. I won't allow you to proceed.
When I was in secondary school in grade 11, I was a debate president on Kawamba Boys. The rules of debate are such that you infer happenings so that you can build a line of thought. Mr. Speaker, when we talk about the autonomy and independence of the three arms of government, one of the arms of government is the legislature. This August House here is expected to be independent and autonomous because any interference in here...
Honorable member, you are not allowed.
Do you want to debate or you want me to debate?
Listen, may you take your seat. Take your seat. The rules don't even allow to debate ourselves. You should make yourself familiar with the standing orders.
Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, J Cool, and turn on the notification bell, cause I'm gonna see you in the next video.